Hey guys, okay, today we're watching 100 largest empires in history. I don't know what else to say about the video. We've watched two other videos from this channel before, 100 greatest generals and 100 strongest nations in history or whatever, in terms of how many battles they won or whatever. Anyways, now we're going to watch largest empires in history. Now, what I'm curious about is, I think technically, I think British Empire is going to be number one. Because what, they owned like 25% of the world at one point or something. However, in terms of population, that I think is probably going, in terms of population, I think that would go to Persian Empire under Achaemenid, under the Achaemenids, because I think at one point they under their empire at its greatest extent ruled like over 25% of the total world population at the time. So let's go ahead and watch this video. Probably this music from the video is going to be either muted or extremely quiet because it's probably copyright. This video shows the 100 largest empires in history. The Akkadians, okay. Visigoth, ooh! I didn't even think of that, but yeah, that makes sense for number 99. Caliphate of Cordoba, okay, yeah. So I wonder, before it gets further, because this is probably going to go really fast, and I don't want to pause every second to look at each empire. The Khmer Empire, I wonder how many of these empires are going to overlap. I think we're going to see a lot of overlap in Europe, specifically. But I wonder, I think Incas might count. Because I think they were, in terms of amount of land controlled, I think they were bigger than the Khmer. So let's go ahead and get back to it. Austro-Hungarian, oh, they're only number 96. Hyksos, never heard of them. Bulgarian, okay. Harsha, never heard of them. I've heard of them. Songhai, ooh. Oh, another thing I want to point out. I wonder how many African empires are going to be up here. I wonder if the Mali Empire is going to be on this list or not. Or Ethiopia, I wonder if they'll make the list. Avar Khaganate, Majapahit. Alright, we've already got an overlap. Mali, there it is. Assyrian. Yeah, lots of overlap will be in Mesopotamia and China for sure. Never heard of that empire. HRE. Ooh, Caliphates definitely are going to be up here a lot too. Kalmar Union. Oh, was not honestly expecting the Kalmar Union to be on the list. Just because they were pretty brief in history. I mean, a couple hundred years or so, I believe. But, you know, honestly, the Kalmar Union, even in European history, they were kind of a footnote. They weren't anything big. They didn't really affect too much. I mean, I'm certain if you take them out of world history entirely, the Kalmar Union entirely, I'm sure things will change. Things will drastically change. But on the surface level, look at it, remembering back. I can't really remember too much about the Kalmar Union. I can remember things in which Sweden, the Swedish Empire, did that affected European politics, but Kalmar Union, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Kush Empire. Indo-Greek Kingdom. Alright, there's Ethiopia, as I said. So, it looks like they might be doing in terms of population? No, because Polish-Lithuania was never really vastly populated. But, yeah, in terms of I don't know. The way this map looks, I don't know if it's just me, but like when we see these Chinese empires, they look much smaller than the empires that were before them. But I think that's just the way the map projection is. Swedish Empire, okay. Ayubid Sultanate. Kitten. Oh, yeah. Yes, there's Incas. Maratha. Completely forgot about them. Yeah, a lot of the Islamic caliphates are going to be on this list. Gupta, oh my god. I am forgetting so many empires that I really shouldn't be. Hunnic Empire, oh, again, flew over my head. Ancient Egypt, oh yeah, for sure. I'm saying, I feel like my commentary is just, oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Really? The Dutch Empire makes it on the list. This has to be population based, right? I'm gonna have to check the video description. I should have checked that before I started the video. If this was population based or not. Kiev and Rus, okay. Ilkhanate. Kushan Empire. Oh yeah, Delhi for sure. Belgium. No, that's land. It's got it. I am sorry that I keep debating whether or not it's landmass or population. Alright, I have read the description. And yes, it's because of the way the map is based and how flat maps do not accurately project the size of Earth. It's going to look a bit off, but it's also, I guess, one of the sources that the creator here has used is a growth decline study or thing that was done by a historian or something. So it also is for, like, I guess how long they lasted or whatever, which fair point, size, and there are multiple things into what consists of empires and such. So yeah, if an empire lasts 100 years and maintains constant size, while an empire that lasts 5 years and ruled larger but falls within 5 years or something, you know. I understand it being lower on the list. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Song Dynasty, yep. Hephthalite Empire, Liao Empire, Parthians, okay. Yeah, most of these empires, you're seeing a similar trend here in which a lot of them were based in the Middle East, China, or India. Mainly the Middle East, though, is what I'm seeing. Like, we're getting a few Indias, and that's just because India is so huge. Same with China. But I think Middle East is really, like, look at this, like 2 in a row, 3 in a row in which there's a significant portion of the Middle East in the empire. Wow, the Italians made the list at 27. Mughal, okay. Xiongnu, yeah. Nazi German, ooh, that's a controversial pick there. Ooh, I don't know if I would have counted them. Just because they didn't really... They lasted, what? Germany at its greatest extent lasted a year at most. So, like, I don't know if I'd count this. Just because they did not hold on to those territories for long. So that's a controversial choice there. Ottomans, oh yeah, for sure. Timurids, Mexican Empire, number 18. Romans only at 17. Ooh. 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 I don't know how I feel about that one. Achaemenids only at 14? What? What? And again, Japan I feel is controversial because while at its greatest extent it lasted longer than Germany did in Europe, but they still lasted at their greatest extent, what, maybe 2 years? So I don't know if I'd count that. But that's personal preference, right? That's my personal choice and how I feel an empire should be calculated. Brazil? Okay. Oh yeah, Portuguese Empire should be on the list. USA. and they're just counting it with its colonial holdings of Cuba, the Philippines, and I'm certain the islands as well. You see, I've seen this, and I do believe that 20th century USA, pre 1980 or pre 1970, 1980. Pre 1980 USA, I think, could be considered a neo-imperial nation. Because following the end of World War and the start of the Cold War, the USA took front and center of world politics, right? They became the global superpower. The second global superpower being the Soviet Union, and since they were at ideological differences and at odds with one another, the USA expanded military bases throughout the world. And in a certain point of view, you could make the argument that because of the direct stationing of U.S. military troops in foreign countries, and with the way global politics were following the end of the Second World War and the conflicts brewing between the USA and the Soviets, an argument can be made that pretty much every single nation that had U.S. troops inside of it could be considered part of the United States Empire because they were part of like the economic pact, the Western World Trade Pact, so, or like if they received money from the USA, it can be argued again that the USA is getting stakes in that country and essentially can rule them. Now, what was fortunate for most of the world was, now, keynote that I say most of the world, because the USA did take advantage of, its money on certain nations, specifically South America and the Middle East and Asia. But like to Western Europe, the USA could have played a greater role in the politics if it wanted to. Like, kind of similar to how the Soviet Union would do to the Eastern Bloc. But that's not what happened. I mean, yeah, there would have been pushback, right? Who knows what would have happened if the USA did decide to be more aggressive in its doctrines. We're not here to say that, but it's just a little theory I like to think about. Yuan died? Okay, yeah, I can see that. Alright, there's Islamic Caliphate. French Empire. Okay, so this is proving that it is purely land-based. Right? Well, no, the French held on to that land for a long time. Man, I feel like I gotta look at the study. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little lazy a lot of the time. Qing Dynasty, oh yeah, that deserves to be on the list. Spanish Empire for sure. Russian Empire, why was the name taken forever? Alright, the Mongols. Number 1 is gonna be the British. Yep. Yeah, I think this one's obvious. Like, God, the amount of land that the British ruled. Oh, this is brilliant. Not many people do this. But they added in Iraq as part of a British colony for 1920 because while it was yes and no whether or not it's a colony, it can be debated. In my opinion, Iraq was a colony of the British Empire at this time, but it is debated because they had a weird system in place. That French-British agreement that followed the collapse of the Ottoman Empire at the end of World War I. I can't remember the name, but I think the Picot Agreement. I'm just going to call it Picot. I know there's another name in there, but I can't remember it. But that split like Syria to the French and Iraq to the British. And the British set up a sort of like system, a different kind of form of colony with Iraq, but it was still pretty much a colony. But wow. Some of the placings of some of these empires honestly surprised me. I was expecting certain empires to be put up higher, like Rome being like, what was it, number 17? That surprised me. But yeah, I got nothing else to say. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a suggestion down below as to what you would like to see me react to next. As always, thank you for watching. Hit that like button and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.